Hawaii has long been recognized as the birthplace of modern-day surfing. It is no surprise, therefore, that the renaissance of another traditional Hawaiian sport should spawn from the islands and quickly spread all over the world. Stand-up paddling combines the paddling aspects of out in the creation of an incredibly versatile sport. Whether it be on oceans, rivers, or even inland waterways, stand-up paddling has captured the imaginations of all walks of life, from Hollywood celebrities and crossover athletes to core watermen searching for the ultimate challenge.
Well, I'm stoked because I just think it's a fresh new sport. It's really challenging, and it shows just how far surfing has come. We've been surfing for so long, sometimes it's good to mix it up.
I love it, yeah. I'm totally, completely, and utterly hooked. Probably laid down paddle one time this whole year, and the only reason I did that was because I loaned out my board to a friend of mine so he could try it.
I've been paddling canoe since I was 9, so I compete paddling canoe every year, and it's the best of both worlds. I love to surf and I love to paddle, so you get both of it at the same time. It's awesome.
I mean, it's gone ballistic, and it's allowed a lot of people to have fun in the water more ways than one. You know, you can go do a downwind run, whereas before people would never do those kinds of things.
I think with girls, it's not so much about surfing. It's, girls look at it more as a the fitness aspect, and like for being on Maui, a lot of women prefer doing downwind runs. Why go to a crowded surf spot when you can have the whole open ocean and do a nice downwind run, and you have like million bumps to choose from as opposed to a crowded surf break.
But there's a big popularity, man, right now. Hawaii is huge. Stand-up surfing is everywhere. I'd done that when I was like 12 years old. Bobby Achoy was, everybody knows that guy. Take pictures at Waikiki, and that's what got me going, because he said, hey boy, grab this board, grab the paddle, go take a couple photos and make some lunch money. I'm like, oh, why not? I'm broke, I have nothing to lose, so.
I think stand-up surfing has an incredible future. It's grown so quickly, and everybody's doing it everywhere.
I live in Central Oregon, about almost 200 miles from the ocean, and we have actually quite a large group of stand-up paddlers. We have some really nice rivers, and I think this is an area of the stand-up sport that's really going to see a lot of growth.
Anywhere where there's a body of water, people are finding a way to do stand-up, whether it's surfing or rapids or, whatever. So right. I'm pretty excited just to see where it's going myself.
Some stand-up just added to my repertoire, because my other sports, other than, surfing for fun, are wind-related. And now I've got a sport that's not wind-related, so it's the perfect complement. When it's not windy enough to kite surf or windsurf, stand-up's perfect.
I think the sport's headed in a very high-performance direction. And I think there's still lots of room to grow too.
I'm really curious to see how far we're going to take it, to how many more levels above what we're doing currently.
In 2009, the Waterman League gathered some of the world's leading watermen to shape and implement the Stand-Up World Tour. The global series set up to challenge the very best stand-up surfers in the world.
What do you think about the Stand-Up World Tour?
I think it's an honor to be part of it, and more than anything, just to be with all the boys and all the bradas, and it kind of gives us a good platform on setting some standards on judging and etiquette. I think this whole thing is nothing but a positive thing.
It's out there right now, and there's a lot of people that's out there doing it, and just to push a competition in the spots will even help it more. So I mean, it's good. It's good all in all for business. Yeah.
Stand-Up World Tour, what do you think about it?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, the sport has obviously taken off worldwide, especially here in Hawaii, the birthplace of it. It's good to see it, getting organized on a competitive level.
The smile just gets bigger and bigger, and I look forward to what's in store. It's nothing but good times and great waves to be ridden.
In order to set a precedent for what is to come and to capture the world's attention, it was decided that an exhibition event should be held at one of the most challenging and notorious waves in the world.
That's all evident in when you see people surfing a wave like that. That's, you know, that's the best judge of someone's skill in surfing or riding waves is take them out at Chopo.
Chopo's become pretty much hands down the heaviest wave in surfing. I mean, there's some pretty gnarly waves around the world. There's waves that are unrideable, but Chopo is a really heavy rideable wave. You know, it's kind of a hero maker and a punisher.
If you know, they see us over there riding the waves successfully, it makes quite a statement because it shows exactly how much talent that a lot of us have and how much time we put into this sport. You know what I mean?
Well, basically we're here at Chopo for the first event of the Stand Up World Tour to make a statement, to do something that's never been done before, or at least on the level we're trying to do it. And what better way to come out of the gates but with a bang. And I think no place outside of Pipeline would be better than Chopo.
This Stand Up World Tour episode is brought to you by
Welcome to the heart of the Pacific. With Air Tahiti Nui, getting to paradise is easier than you think. During your journey, indulge yourself with our exclusive onboard experience and enjoy the warmth of the Tahitian hospitality. Our award-winning crew is dedicated to sharing with you the magic of our islands and exceed your expectations. Air Tahiti Nui, where the journey begins.
In early September, competitors from Hawaii, California, Australia, Tahiti, and Europe came together on the island of Tahiti, deep in the South Pacific, for a groundbreaking adventure into the unknown.
Aloha and welcome to Tahiti. My name's Tristan Boxford from the Waterman League, and we're down here in Tahiti for the Stand Up World Tour Contenders, presented by Moorings, Hinano, and Starboard.
Moorings hooked us up. We got two 46-foot catamarans, and these things are deluxe. I mean, pimped out.
Yeah, the mooring boats are sick. They're, you know, we've actually punched through some pretty rough stuff the last few days through the channel and stuff, and they handled pretty good. So I guess we're lucky we got the cats. And
these boats are such luxury. You know, it's got everything you need. Really good boat captains. You know, the navigation skills that these guys got is amazing. The best part about it is we're fishing, you know, the whole time, and amazing trip, man. It's one of the best surf trips I've ever been on. A really good thing to do, and if you ever get a chance to be on one of these things, you know, check them out.
First impression of the trip, well, it was excitement, actually. You know, super stoked to be able to be a part of this, to come out and get on a boat, go through Tahiti. You know, I've done Tahiti from land, but to get with such a top professionally talented crew on two boats and be able to explore Moorea and parts of you know, Tahiti by boat was definitely kind of a really cool idea. So to be a part of that was I was super stoked.
So here we have 3 different teams, basically. We split them up into the Hawaii region, Tahiti region, and then the rest of the world.
Well, I think the Tahitians are going to be solid because of the local knowledge. International guys, you got Jamie Mitchell, Chuck Patterson. Those guys, they charge. And then the Hawaiians, we got Dwayne DeSoto, Kili Mamala, Kainoa McGee, and myself, and we're pretty stacked. I think the Hawaiians are gonna take it.
It's fun, you know, friendly competition, rivalry, all that stuff. It's all good, and you know, we're all good friends, so it's not too serious, you know, right now. And but wait till we get in the water, and it'll probably all change.
What I can see looks like the teams are actually pretty well stacked. It's good to be on a surf trip with, you know, guys that I respect, not only as people but as watermen. So being here, I know for sure, like, I'm in the right place with the right people, because I know, like, if it's bombing, if something comes in to anybody here, they're gonna go, and if they don't, they're gonna hear it from everybody else anyway. So it's not an option.
One of our first sessions that we did have the morning that we got back was a little after the new swell was starting to hit, and we were kind of all just getting our stuff dialed out with our new boards and all that. And well, sure enough, big set came. I was waiting for a little while, and I said, oh, this is the one. So I went and paddled for it, and it was the first wave of the set. Kind of cardinal rule is never to take the first wave of the set, take the second one, but no, I always have to do things difficultly, you know. So sure enough, I take off on the first wave, get going, and I look back going, oh, the next one's better, being greedy. I kick out only to be in the worst position ever.
Chalk rule number one, don't get the first set.
I decided to paddle straight into the tube to kick out the back. Well, sure enough, once I took the beating, you know, I come up and I look back and there's two pieces floating in the water next to me. You say that kind of stuff happens, and I ended up paddling in, grabbing all my pieces and just kind of relaxing, and have to start all over, and I got one board left, so we'll see how long it lasts.
With the wave still building, the athletes turn to other ocean-based pursuits to satisfy their competitive urges. The spearfishing contest proves too close to call. But with the Hinano Watermen's Cup scheduled for the following day, the boats return to harbour for a night of socializing and relaxing, accompanied by the music of athlete Ekolu Kalama.
There's been a little rivalry, you know, between the Hawaiians and the international team full bore, you know. So whether it be fishing or spearfishing or surfing or whatever, so.
No, all these guys are ultra competitive. Nobody wants to lose, so it's good to be, you know, around a bunch of guys like this.
The Hinano Cup consists of a three-part relay performed around a figure-of-8 course. First, stand-up paddling, then lay-down paddling, and finally swimming.
I was sort of pretty confident when I jumped in, though. I thought that we had it in the bag. I know it's a bit of a ball, you know, and he's got that bodyboarding background, so I figured his legs, you know, from kicking all those years, would be pretty strong. And that's, with swimming, you know, your kick's nearly like, you know, what keeps you going. And I looked behind me a couple of times, and I just saw like, it's like a mako shark just thrashing, you know. I'm like, oh, he's still going, you know. So I didn't let up. I just pounded it out to the finish. But you know, I was sort of pretty confident when I jumped in, though. I thought that we had it in the bag.
I think this little contest event that we had was kind of a cool little waterman challenge, you know, and we all enjoy that stuff. So, you know, the talking was stirring up, the Hawaiians, everybody, you know, just like trying to just push each other's buttons. And
I dived in and I thought, because, you know, I've done a bit of swimming, a bit like Tristan, you know, so over the years, so I thought, well, if I come up and put a good 5 strokes, you know, I thought I'd, you know, be ahead of Ekolu. And then I didn't, you know, of course I didn't think that as soon as I started diving, I'd have this crocodile wrapped around my leg. So the next thing, he's put me in a death roll, and then I thought, right, game on. So when he was going,
you didn't know what he was doing with there, huh?
When he was going for the beer can, I thought, this is it. Just bear hugged him and it was on.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I pretty much knew that Kainoa was just going to take me out, you know, because after Ekolu and Dave's one where they just were like MMA under the water.
This is the last event, so we just jumped in, went for it. made sure he wasn't paying attention, push him off right out the bat. What I didn't plan on was myself going the other way too. I was like, God damn it. Next time I'll give him a shoulder rub instead.
So I sort of wanted to get away from Cardinal, but I couldn't, and as soon as I jumped in, he just like, I don't know what he did, sort of pushed me, and I just tweaked and fell and body slammed, and it was all over from the get-go.
So yeah, it was great, good time, and you know what, to have that type of competitive, you know, challenge kind of thrown out on top of all the things we've been doing, surfing and fishing and everything, I think it just kind of lifted up our spirits and kind of got us rolling, and I think at the end everybody was super stoked.
A group of boys that really don't know each other to come up against the hui and come up. It was good.
It's good to be, you know, around a bunch of guys like this. Keep the competitive juices flowing.
Hey, this is unreal, you know, like it's sort of, can't quite believe I'm here in Tahiti, you know. On stand-up, it was absolutely brilliant.
And we'll see you on the next challenge.
This Stand Up World Tour episode is brought to you by the Stand Up World Tour patrons provide a vital support mechanism for the continued growth and development of the sport and its World Championship Tour. They also support some of the world's leading athletes as they pursued their quest for the World Championship title.
Well, the North Shore is such a special place. I think there's some of the most hospitable people in the whole world right here.
What makes the North Shore so special is the people of Hawaii created the sport surfing, so it's only right the most exciting contests in the world go down here.
I think it's epic. It still has soul.
We just hope that one day everybody in this world gets to come and experience our little piece of paradise.
Turtle Bay, your gateway to the North Shore.
Welcome back to the Stand Up World Tour Contenders, where we find the athletes aboard the moorings boats in the beautiful islands of Tahiti.
Oh, I just hope we get Chopo in all its glory. I mean, we came here to get barreled. That's what I want to do.
Oh, look, I'd just be stoked to get a couple of chopes, and you've got to respect that wave, and especially on the stand-up, you know, so.
I love hanging out with everybody, you know, just, you know, chilling out. After a good surf session, we come in, check out the footage that Larry has shot.
Yeah, Larry's good. I've actually shot with Larry a bunch of times, and, you know, he'll get right in the pit, and he knows that he just charges it, and he'll be in the water all day if he has to be, so probably couldn't have got a better guy for the job.
Larry Haynes is one of my best friends. Me and Larry, we've traveled to all sorts of places in the world, Japan to Chile to Tahiti. I love having Larry along with us on the boat, you know, it's my wingman.
He keeps you smiling, always happy. The guy charges no matter what. The sun is out, you better be on it and be in the water because that guy's ready to shoot.
Hey, Larry's awesome. He's got the eye, he's got the artistic eye, and he seems to be in the right spot all the time, so we're stoked to have Larry on board.
Cheers to you, Larry, man. Good brother, love you, mahalo.
You know, we're so lucky being on an island like Tahiti is there's plenty to do when the surf's still not good, so.
You don't get much better, do you, really? It's all pretty special, yeah. I haven't really seen anything like it myself, so yeah, pretty stoked to be here.
With the waves eluding our riders today, it is decided to head upriver and venture inland. With their Kolu Kalama leading the way, our athletes decide to explore some of the local legends.
The legend of this is there was a
princess in this village area, and she had 2 suitors, and she couldn't decide which one to marry. So she hid, and whichever guy found her first got to marry her. So you're gonna get to see the cave where she hid out. Adventure.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, it's always nice to see, you know, a little piece of Tahiti like that people normally don't get to see.
Yeah, it's good just to get off the boat and get get the legs moving, so to speak.
Would you have found her?
Hell no. You're the hide and go seek world champion.
It was pretty cool to do that, and the water and the fresh water, and then all the different trees, and then that cave was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
You get stir crazy in the boat. So sure enough, there's the river, and ended up being a beautiful, a cool hour of exploration, and we had some fun times, cruising through the river.
True to the forecast of the night before, the day dawns to the sound of waves crashing over the reef at Chopo. The long-anticipated swell has arrived, and it is finally time for the teams to show what they're made of.
We almost have the best watermen from Hawaii, from the international, Australia and California, and it's good to share the waves with them on Tahitian Islands.
Same with Tahiti. I've just met those guys for the first time this trip, and they seem like stand-up guys, So.
Les gens sont cool, quoi, et puis ils accueillent bien les gens, ils accueillent bien les gens, quoi. Hein. Je pense que l'accueil elle est top, quoi.
Yeah, because it's home, brother. Good way. That's right. It's Chopo, bro. When it's glass, it's glass.
Ben, même pour ceux qui y vivent, quoi, hein, c'est le paradis.
The culture, the flowers, the women, the food, the land, and the perfect waves. Yeah, that's what we love and we live for every day.
All my life I was dreaming about getting on a boat like this with all my toys to ride the waves on the ocean.
Ben, le trip en bateau, c'est top, quoi. Hein, on le fait pas tous les jours, et alors c'est bien. Quand les conditions sont bien et tout, et quand il y a des bonnes vagues, là, c'est super.
These are awesome watermen. I'm just stoked to have these guys here on board with us and just kind of share the knowledge from each other. And
well, I'm just pretty stoked to be here today, and it's good to see other stand-up paddling coming to my island and discovering all the islands as well as the waves and culture and all that. Since I'm always alone, me and my brother-in-law, Arsene, always alone surfing out here, standing up. I was all excited coming this morning to see a few stand-up paddles in a lineup. I didn't want to miss the session, miss the boat.
Beyond the showcasing of high-performance stand-up paddling in the most spectacular conditions, the Contenders project has also served as a means of discussing and formulating judging and formats for the 2010 Stand-Up World Tour.
Yeah, one of the objectives of this event actually is to really establish the format and the judging guidelines for the future of the Stand-Up World Tour. We're trying to break away from traditional sporting tours and really let the riders dictate the way. We have a luxury because this is the early stages. We can kind of pave the way for what's to come and really create a format that works for the riders. So we've been sitting down each day discussing this. We've had Larry shooting the action all day and then coming in and being able to go over the footage and really check out what's going on, and it helps the riders to progress, but also to discover what is going to score and what is considered as the best riding.
Sure. It's been 6 years since I've been here. I'm stoked to be back. Like every other surf trip, it has its challenges, mainly waves. So we're stoked that yesterday was as productive as it was, and I think as a team we killed it, and I think as a collective it was sick. I think yesterday was pretty mental.
basically they say save the best for last. I guess that's what we got, and it basically taught me a lot of chopo and just entering that wave in a different position. Stand-up surfing. I usually do it towing and paddling and stuff, but stand-up surfing, it's a whole nother level, you know, and it's a good learning experience for people like me and a lot of everybody else that was out there. And it was definitely a stepping stone yesterday out at Chopu, and having a lot of stand-up paddlers and surfers, and it was a great time. Super stoked.
It was like life altering because the waves yesterday were not by any means in any way, shape, or form easy on any kind of board.
Humanly paddling, you know, it's like beyond. It's a whole nother world out there, and you know, just being with all the Tahitians, everybody's energy. It's just, you know, everybody came together, stuck together, look out for each other. You know, everything was pono, was really positive, and you know, at the end of the day, you could just tell on everybody's smiles and their faces. Just the expression was just amazing.
While it has not been an official event, the best waves will be posted online for you, the audience, to judge at watermanleague.com.
Thursday night. Thursday night, we gotta catch one fly. We came late, but we at the front of the line. In Tahiti, Nui, we're going to LA, then connecting back to Hawaii. We're flying home on Thursday night, and we don't want to leave, but we have to. Bro, you're making a big scene with this light and this camera. And me with the guitar, it's like everyone's like, who the hell are these guys? Do you guys think they're rock stars or what? You guys show up like an hour before the plane, straight through the line, cut in front of everybody. You're like, what?